guys. So I wanted to do a quick update on how the WRX has been treating me over the winter, spring. Now we're going into summer. At the moment, I have about 78,000 miles on the car. I think the last video I did, which was about 8 months ago, I had 60,000 is when I did that video. Yep. So I'm driving the hell out of this car. It is getting its use in my life. And so far, I have to say it's been treating me pretty well. I'm gonna go around the car real quick, just really quick, just to give you guys an update on how things are. Okay, so over the winter, the first thing that went down that was a big annoyance is my wheel. I'll put it on the grass here. Okay, so my wheel got bent. You can see it here, how it's kind of flat in this corner. So, gotta love New Jersey roads. I hit a pothole pretty bad. You can only memorize as a car guy so many roads that you don't need to drive on and the things to miss. I memorize a lot of roads. I know exactly where to be on my normal commute every day, but this was a ghost road, a new road in my life, never been on it. The bump came out of nowhere, hit it. I noticed that my wheel was kind of shaking. And that looks pretty bad, but shaking a little more, like vibrating a little more. So ended up having to get it balanced. As I went to get it balanced, they told me, you know what, your wheel's actually bent, man. So I had to go get a new wheel. It's fine, didn't cost me that much. I went on Craigslist, found a guy selling one of them for me, which was tough because most people sell them in sets of 4 or 2, but I got him to sell me one wheel, which now it's going to be a little difficult for him to sell that other one, but there'll be someone eventually. But that definitely sucked. Second thing that I want to talk about, the exhaust. Now, I've been way beyond the burn-in phase of this exhaust. It always sounded good, but to me, I really always wanted a bit more loud. I'm sure a downpipe would do that. You want that moment where you have a loud exhaust and you may get used to it, but then one day you come back out and you're like, shit, that's loud. That's how you want it to be. You want to be surprised again. I come out after I'm like, this is, you know, loud. And then I come out and I'm like, nah, this isn't that loud, you know? I more have that realization that this isn't as loud when there are moments where I get on it and I'm like, oh, if this was just, it just punched and gave me some more of a note, I'd be satisfied more. But to be honest, I'm not as satisfied with this. What I do think would open up this exhaust, which I want to do hopefully soon after I get, you know, these life events by, is a downpipe. A high flow catted downpipe would probably increase this tone and you'll get a little bit more of that turbo spool coming through it, you know. But for the most part, it gets the job done. There's absolutely zero drone with this exhaust on a highway, but it does have a nice pull-off sound. You know, if I do compare this exhaust to a certain decibel level, if you've ever noticed how a VQ engine sounds, Infiniti G35 350Z, they have that perfect sound, that purr, but you can hear them coming down the road. And you can hear them as they drive by you way down the road. You can still hear the exhaust coming off of them. And that's the stock exhaust. I feel like this might be slightly louder than that. It's almost as clean sounding as that for sure. It sounds really clean. Real smooth, but it's about a little louder than a stock Infiniti G35 exhaust. Because stock, this car doesn't sound like shit. It doesn't sound like anything. So honestly, get any exhaust for this car and you're gonna have the greatest upgrade alone. But The stock exhaust for this car sounds like absolutely nothing. So I always missed the G35 sound. The amount you can hear it was perfect from outside the car and even inside the car. So this, I think, levels that playing field between the two. This exhaust is what the car probably should have come with, is something like this. It's not excessively loud. You can go with your Cobb exhaust or your NVIDIA exhaust and things like that and get, of course, a crazy sound out of it, but this is probably the exhaust the car should have come with. And the tips too. The tips look great. Probably should have came with these tips, not those rusty small black tips. Okay, so rattles. That's the next thing I wanted to go over. This car, you know, as things get colder in the winter, just like mechanical metal parts, they get looser. Just to say that happens with plastics too. It feels like the same thing is happening. The car rattles a lot. Although my super anal ears do not allow me to sit there and deal with it. I will not deal. There are certain things I do have to deal with because I can't get to it, but I make sure I have caught as much as I can. A-pillar. Here's the thing, guys. This rattles a lot. A-pillar. Boom, boom. Put some foam in that joint. Lock it up. You will not get any more rattling with some foam stuck in this thing. This plastic cracks and stuff like that when you hit bumps and driving. Get that locked down. Same thing for that side. A-pillar, terrible in this car. Secondly, here, I don't know, I think it's actually this piece here. This piece rattles. If I don't have my arm on it, it rattles. It makes noise, and I'm not gonna put my arm on it all the time. So I've put some foam around there and around here. I actually couldn't do much inside here, but this is where the rattling's coming from. You notice it because when I put it down, when I let it lock in down, the rattling goes away. When I put it up, the rattling comes back. It's something inside here, something mechanically. Thanks Subaru for the armrest. It really helps that you're raising it up for me, and like to, you know, I can lean my arm in it so I can don't have to put it on next to my side, and that's great for them, but to be honest, it rattles. So I don't know what to do with this one. If you guys have any ideas, help me out with that one. You will get a rattle up here. I've put some foam in the bottoms here of these areas, you could see, but this sometimes rattles too. I've got it on both sides, a little bit of foam here, just so it stops it from hitting the top. But there's all kinds of cheap shit in this roof. So those are very important spots. B-pillars, they rattle too, but nowhere near as much. Back here, in the rear of the car, yes, they rattle here. I've put some foam in these areas, and I've put foam along the edge of this. I don't know if you can see it there. Looks like it, but it's in between the cracks here. I put foam there. That actually helps a lot with the rear of the car. So get that done. It will really help reduce the annoyances coming through in the interior of the car. Also, over the winter, my headlight went. I have an HID aftermarket Morimoto HID kit installed in this car. It did not come with HIDs. I didn't put the HIDs on there. Someone did before, because they probably knew they made a mistake when they didn't option it out with the HIDs, because halogens just don't make it in this day and age. So the HID went. You can always tell when HID is going because it starts to turn pink. It started going like really weird, like bright neonish pink, and this one was still blue, and you could tell it was way off. If you ever see a car on the road with neon, or your car has neon pink headlights, it's gonna fail real soon. So I had to get a new bulb. That was not a big deal. Then to realize that they had changed the wiring harnesses for the ballast, so I had to, it kind of sucked, but I had to go and pull off my bumper and do it all that way instead of being able to just replace the bulb. I had to do a little bit more work, and you could see the Morimoto system in the back here. That's the best part about this. You can just pop things off. It's all plastic, but you can see it right there. There it is, I think right here. Yep. So that system is what is used for the HIDs. That's the ballast. So I had to go back there, do all the wiring. Not a big deal. The company provided me with everything, and I could not be more grateful for them. The body held up pretty well. I am noticing a slight spot here. Right there. That sucks. That really sucks, because you know what that is? That looks like I have rust underneath this piece. And I hate rust. My Infinity went through rust on the quarter panel here. Now I'm getting rust on this one. Not on it, this. I don't know if it's metal, but there's metal under here for sure, and it's on the door, and that sucks. I don't even know how that got there. It's underneath this sealant, this seal kind of thing, you know. So it just, water just got in it, and it hit this one freaking spot, which is weird, you know. Usually you'll get it along the edge up here or something, but that's an odd area. But I got a little spot there. I don't know, I should get it taken care of. Any ideas on how to take care of that one? It's in a really weird area, so I mean, that's not even like paint. I don't know what to do with that, but that's one thing I noticed, a little rust there. Body-wise, my lip held up good. My fake lip held up pretty good. Can't complain with that. From the front here, you can see it did rip up over the winter. It got a little beat up. But the great thing about paying about $5 for a lip from Home Depot is I just put a new one on, and it was about $5. I just got the garage door opener stuff and put it back on, and I can still to this day not hate on this thing. It looks so good. Like, get a little bit more light here, but it really does look good. I can't hate on it. For $5 and just redoing it when, you know, it gets beat up a little bit, that shit looks quality right there. I've had people come by and say, yo, that's a nice lip you got on there. You know, I've been to like car meets and stuff like that, and I'm like, yeah, it's garage door opener. I straight up say to them, I don't try to be like it's something more expensive than it is. You know, it's a garage door opener liner. So, and it's done. It looks great. So my battery's slowly starting to go. I am getting a bit of a slow crank now. It takes a moment to start up. So I'm going to be investing in a new battery soon, I know. Subaru's battery, I think, has hit its point, but it's been great. It's time for a new battery. I want that instant startup. The Grimspeed air oil separator, doing well. I don't notice any oil in the intercooler. It's pretty good. Again, I don't do very track driving or heavy racing on a highway or turning hardcore. I mean, I'm doing just commuting. This thing has got no oil in it. It's perfect for the very simple daily commuter. Maybe some pulls here and there, have a little fun, but nothing excessive. That if you're doing excessive stuff, just get a catch can. Do a catch can. Peace of mind for that. This will not ever replace a catch can. It's just meant for the simplified Subaru driver. And that's me. Cob intake, I replaced that. Got a new one that's nice and clean now. But everything in here has been pretty good. I keep the engine as clean as possible. Hasn't shown me any signs of scary Subaru things yet that no one wants to see come their way. But yeah, the car itself has been doing great. Just doing the normal maintenance, oil changes, transmission fluid you saw in my 60,000 mile video, things like that. But since then, I've been just doing the normal oil changes. I do the oil changes every 3,000 miles. I don't care what the fuck synthetic says or what these people write on these slips. Because in the wintertime, I don't do my own oil. I don't have a garage. I still just take it somewhere to do it. But you best believe I'm double checking what they do after I get my car back. I am on top of that. I do not let them give me my car without double checking everything is tight. I don't trust these places like Pep Boys and Tire Plus. And I'll let them do my oil change, but I will double check their work from top to bottom just to make sure they haven't touched something that they shouldn't have touched. But for the most part, especially when it's cold, it's wintertime, I have to let them do it. I can't sit outside. My fingers are shot within 5 minutes of touching metal. I'm done. It's just painful. So I let them take care of that. Price to pay, you know, it's fine because they're definitely overcharging. You can do an oil change for much cheaper, but you do what you got to do just for it. But now that it's getting warmer again, I'm getting back out here doing my own oil change. It's just so easy. But yeah, that's the main thing here. The car does well, but make sure, because it's a Subaru EJ motor, just to be careful. don't go too long without the oil changes. These motors are very finicky and sensitive. You gotta take care of it. Do it every 3. Maybe you go a little longer, fine, but please be on top of it. Last thing you want, again, is them Subaru horrors. Another thing I've noticed, and you guys might have noticed it too, is my clutch clicks, and I'm not saying clutch kick. No, I'm not doing any drifting in this car. If it can drift, it's all-wheel drive, but the clutch clicks. Happens sometimes, especially in extreme temperatures. Reminds me again of what happened with my G35 when it used to lose pressure, but this is nowhere near. It has pressure. It just clicks. You'll push it down and you get a weird sound clicking in there. So it's a little odd. I don't know if anyone else has experienced that. If you have, let me know what solves or fixes that. Everything's fine. It just clicks here. And I think it's a spring or something, but if you've experienced that, let me know. I would like to fix that. That can get kind of annoying too. My spacers are holding up well. As you can see, I think I have about 20 millimeter spacers front and back, so not getting any random noises from my wheel bearings. They're holding up real well. It really does make the car look a lot more flush with the fender. I do get a little bit of rub when the car is packed to the brim. I mean, 4 people, actually probably 5 people, and stuff in the trunk. I've heard some rub on this side. It rubs definitely right here. I don't see any damage, but it is rubbing. I've heard it in the back right. And my ears are sensitive. I hear where things are coming from. That's coming from there. So when the car is full, when I have me and some friends in the car, it's when it's like 5 people and stuff in the back. It sits probably lower in the back. I can already tell that the car sits lower in the back than it does in the front when I do like a finger test, just to see the wheel gap. It's lower in the back than it is in the front. I wish it was lower in the front too. That'd be so dope, but whatever. And you could see when you floor it, it does that like most rear wheel drive. It kind of has, even in this car, it kind of does that. It tucks in on the back wheels to get it traction from the rear, almost like what a rear wheel drive car will do. But yet we have traction in the front too. So it sits a little lower here, and I think that's where it rubs. But it's a very slight rub. Like for a split second, then it's back up. It's on a deep bounce. If you're taking a deep, bumpy road on a bounce, it'll rub and then be done. So, but yeah, the spacers they just make it look so much better. I mean, I remember what my car looked like stock, and it sits so much nicer here. It makes me not even. I mean, I'd love to have wheels. It just makes this car look so much better, filling up that gap and get some fatter tires. It just makes it look amazing. But just having the actual spacers in there does enough to make me happy for now, because wheels are freaking expensive as hell. But okay, to end this video, to finish it on a high note, this car has been doing well for me. I'm very happy to have it. The community is great. I'm enjoying driving it. The feeling it gives me when I floor it, the boost, no boost leaks or any kind of things like that. The car is great. Cannot complain right now at all. It's very easy to work on to me. I mean, spark plugs are, as you saw in my 60K, are a little bit annoying to do, but I did it. It's not super, it's a little scary because you can't see in there, but it saves you money doing a lot of things yourself. And all I did to do it was watch some YouTube videos. So you gotta love YouTube videos for the way our society today can learn to do so many things. It's perfect. It's a great reference to have and to use to accomplish so many things that you would normally have to pay tons of money to do. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.